Hey guys, Aska here, and in this series we are going to implement our game manager script and our trail renderer, and also we are going to fix our lighting for every scene, and that's it. We will be completing our game in this series. So let's start. Let's create a new C sharp script and name it to game manager and open it up in Visual Studio. First drag and drop it inside of our game manager. Now let's create some variables. Private text, we need to import that text, name it to current level text, comma next level text, let's import our text using unity engine.ui, and another private image, fill image, and private int level, private float start distance, comma distance, another private game object player, and also finish, comma hand, another private text mesh pro, which will be used to set our level number. Let's change it to text mesh pro and import it using tmp pro. Now inside of our awake function, we'll get a current level equal to gameObject.find, and we will set the correct strings, current level text. Make sure to cross check it, we have set it to current level text, or else copy and paste the name here. So we are finding that game object and getting the component text. We will do the same with next level text. Make sure you write the proper strings for everything, or you can directly make the variables public and drag and drop the game objects. I'm just using a different method over here. Fill equal to gameObject.find fill. We will just be finding all of our game object inside of our awake function. And for the fill, we are going to get the component image. We will also get our player, gameObject.find player. You can also create specific tags for everything and find all the game objects by their tags, or as I said earlier, by making them public and dragging drop. Okay, we will also find our finished game object. And our hand that we animated in our last lecture, because we will be disabling it once we start our game. Now find the level number text, gameObject.find level number and dot get component, that is a text mesh pro. Okay, now let's also create our start method and get our level. So level equal to player preference dot get in level. By default it should be 1. Okay, now set the level number dot text equal to level plus level. We are just setting our level number to our text. Now instead of a next level text, we will set dot text equal to level plus 1. Okay, so if our level is 1, then our next level will be 1 plus 1, that is 2. And we will set our current level text to level. And make sure you put the dot to string also. In the next level as well as the current level text, I have used two approaches. Okay, now we will be setting our start distance equal to vector 3 distance between our player dot transform dot position comma finish dot transform dot position. Now inside of our update method, let's get our current distance. So distance equal to vector 3 distance player dot transform dot position comma finish dot transform dot position. Here is where we will get the actual distance once the game starts. Okay, now if player dot transform dot position dot z, we are getting the z position, we are not getting the x or y position, is less than finish dot transform dot position dot z, then we will set the fill amount to 1 minus distance divided by start distance. Okay, now another public void remove GUI or remove UI for removing our hand. We'll set hand dot set active to false. Okay, now go inside of our player controller and we will call our remove GUI method inside of our finish method. Find object of type game manager dot remove UI. Okay, so now let's set up our lighting. Go to window rendering lighting and click on generate lighting for our level 1. So a new lighting settings will be created. Inside of our baked light map, you can find our light map. So now let's open up our level 2 scene. Now go to the same window rendering lighting and now just set the baked light maps to our lighting data. That's it, we have fixed our lighting issues. So now let's override everything. Okay, and also let's create a prefab of our game manager, and inside of our level 2 let's add our game manager. Now let's create a method so that we can start our current level method directly without starting the first level every time. So instead of a player controller, we will write public static void load main and get our current level int level equal to player preference dot get int. We'll get our level and by default it should be 1. Okay, now we will set scene manager dot load scene. We will set it to level and the level number. Okay, and now let's add this attribute runtime initialize on load method. Whenever our game is loaded, we will find this method and we will load the current level scene and set it to before scene loaded. Now save and run it. As you can see, our level 2 has started by default. Now create another empty game object, trail. We will be creating our trail renderer now. Set its position to minus 0.3 on the Z. Add a trail renderer component to it. And reduce its width to somewhat around 0.4 or 3. Now double click over the right side and drag it down. Okay, just like this. Now set the time to 0.7 and change its color. Select the first node and set its location to around 60% or 65%. Now select the second node and set its alpha value to 0. Now third node and change the color to somewhat around bluish. Okay, this looks good. Let's save it. Now instead of a material, let's give it any default material. Okay, sprites default. Now let's override our player. And now let's check it out. Okay, so as you can see, our trail renderer is also working and our gameplay mechanics is also working fine. As you can see, the hand just disappeared when we started and the level progress indicator is also working. Okay. Now if you want to build this project for Android, then create more levels, enjoy your work. Also make sure to subscribe because more augmented reality tutorials coming soon. Okay, so click on file, build settings. First of all, let's see if all of our scenes are added. Then we have already switched to Android. So instead of our player settings, we'll set our company name and our product name. And we only need it for a portrait rotation. So we will set it to portrait. Now let's click on build and give your APK a name and save it. That's it. So we are done with our series. I am coming with more interesting series on augmented reality. I will be creating many applications and sharing the free source code for free. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. It will be coming out within a week or so. So stay tuned. Thank you.